Welcome to the 29th Annual Fairhaven High School Hall of Fame Induction Banquet. My name is Mark Sylvia from the class of '92. I'm your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. Please join me in welcoming our 2024 inductees. We'll start with Ray Farrier from the class of '56. Sadly, Ray passed away. He's going to be inducted posthumously this evening. There's information on the table behind me about Ray, and we'll read his bio as part of the induction ceremony. Our next inductee is Paula Cadero O'Brien from the class of 1972. Unfortunately, Paula couldn't attend, but standing in for her, representing Paula, is Louise Tapper from the class of '72. Our next inductee is Janice Braley Maynard from the class of 1945. Sadly, Janice passed away in 2019. Accepting in her memory is her daughter, Liz Isherwood Moore from the class of 1969. Our next inductee is James W. Martin Jr. from the class of 1982. Let's give him a big round of applause. Our next inductee is Dustin Botello from the class of 2000. His family has told us that Dustin is on his way here now. He actually just finished coaching his daughter's softball team in Methuen. So let's give Dustin a round of applause now and another round of applause when he gets here. Our next inductee is Christina Patel from the class of 2011. Our next inductee is Kara Charette from the class of 2012. And last but not least, our last inductee for the evening is Ryan Baldwin from the class of 2013. I would now like to introduce the coaches, team captains, and touchdown record holder representing the 2023 MIAA Division VI Super Bowl champs Fairhaven High School football team. This year's Hall of Fame booklet is dedicated to our champion Blue Devils. First, we have head coach Derek Almeida. Assistant coach Dana Almeida. Assistant coach Brett Denning. And assistant coach Donnie Joseph. And now for the co-captains, seniors, Jace Duart, Colby Correa, Nate Pickup Jr., and junior and career touchdown record holder, Justin Marks. Okay, settle down, settle down. At this time, I'd like to recognize all of our honored members who are here this evening, who were previously inducted into the Hall of Fame. When I call your name, please stand and stay standing. Once everyone has been recognized, I ask for a round of applause from everybody in the room. First, from the class of 1958, Sheila Tunstall McKenna. Guys don't follow directions. From the class of 1960, Tom Mendel. From the class of 1961, Henry Knudsen. From the class of 1965, Steve Enton. Standing right next to me from the class of 1966, Bob Foster. From the class of 1967, Howie Barrow. From the class of 1968, Lester Smith. From the class of 1972, Dana Almeida. From the class of 1972, Debbie Almeida. From the class of 1973, Ed Boulay. From the class of 1976, Ray Canastra. From the class of 1980, Bob Baldwin. From the class of 1990, Lyle Drew. From the greatest class at Fairhaven High School, the class of 1992, Donnie Joseph. I know, those fighting words. From the class of 1993, Nate Pickup Sr. Also from the class of 1993, Frank Sneezek. From the class of 1995, Katie Cousins. From the class of 1998, Aaron Mateos. From the class of 2001, Matt Pont. From the class of 2006, Karen Knudsen Barrows. From the class of 2008, Erin Baldwin Costa. And also from the class of 2008, Kaylee Charette Wilga. And Athletic Director Dave Medeiros. So let's give them all of our honored members, a great round of applause. You get an A+ for that one. Finally, I'd like to recognize the members of the Hall of Fame committee who organized this event, as well as the selection of inductees and other awardees. Co-chairman and co-athletic directors Donnie Joseph and John Riccardi, Robert Foster, treasurer secretary, Howie Barrow, Ed Boulay, Anthony Brunette, Ray Canastra, Aaron Costa, Steve Drew, Kristen Lancaster, Nancy Parent, Matt Pont, Lester Smith, and Buddy Thomas, advisor to the committee. And with that, I just again want to welcome you all to the 2024 Hall of Fame Banquet. Dinner will now be served. Each table will be called up by the Century House. Enjoy dinner, and the program will resume shortly. Thank you. We're going to get started with the program, so can the inductees please return to the head table? I ask that everyone please take your seats. We're going to get started with the formal program. So again, welcome everyone. At this time, I'd like to invite the co-chairman of the Hall of Fame Committee and co-athletic directors, Donnie Joseph and John Riccardi, to the podium to offer their greetings this evening. Donnie and John, big round of applause. And before I forget, Dustin has made it. So big round of applause for Dustin. He made it. Thank you very much. And now I'll turn it over to Donnie and John.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening and welcome. Thank you everyone for coming to support the Hall of Fame in Fairhaven High School. Tonight we celebrate and honor Fairhaven athletes who have left a legendary mark on their school and community. Thank you again for coming and for your support. So I'd like to take a minute and congratulate all the
inductees to this year, the 2024 Hall of Fame. Also the Mr. Dell recipients and all our scholarship recipients. It's been a great year for us here at Fairhaven. Athletically, we had 6 conference championships, and we obviously had the state championship football team, which has been just an amazing experience for the entire community. I'd like to thank everybody that's helped us out. This was our first year as athletic directors, and we were learning on the fly. So we appreciate all the help from everyone in this room. We did receive a lot, and we would like to thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Donnie. I'd like to now call John back to the podium, who will present this year's booklet dedication. John?
Thank you. Each year, the Hall of Fame Committee dedicates the program to someone. This year, we voted to our state championship football team. In a few years, they will be eligible for induction as a team into the Hall of Fame, but we thought that this evening's banquet would be a great opportunity to show them some love for all they have accomplished. This team had a truly super season with an overall record of 12-1 and some memorable victories down the stretch that will live on in the annals of Fairhaven High School football history. Their 4 state tournament victories capped off with a Division VI championship game at Gillette Stadium against Salem High School are some of the most exciting high school football games that any of us have ever seen. And then for a bonus, they had one of the most exciting finishes ever, beating Dartmouth on Thanksgiving 24-21 on a last-second 42-yard field goal. Our advisor to the Hall of Fame, Buddy Thomas, wrote the great tribute that's in the middle of tonight's program, and the photo credit for the color centerfold goes to Katie Joseph, wife of Coach Donnie Joseph. Head coach Derek Almeida and his dedicated staff are here as our guests tonight, along with the 4 team co-captains, seniors Jay Stewart, Colby Correa, Nate Pickup Jr., and junior Justin Marks, who shattered the all-time FHS touchdown record along the way. Gentlemen, please come up here to the podium to be recognized.
I guess I'll go real quick here. I know these inductees have long, drawn-out speeches to get to. But I just want to say thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee and the Alumni Association. We're very proud of this team and what they accomplished. Congratulations to all the inductees. You guys have some incredible accomplishments. You should be proud of yourselves. But just a couple things about this team in general. You know, we didn't start out in August as a state championship football team. This was a group of guys that got together, coaches and players that just worked hard every single day at everything we did. It just got better and better as the year went on, and really allowed themselves to grow into this team that they became. Yeah, we have some phenomenal players, and there's a few of them up here with us, but we truly were a team that came together, and there's just so many kids that had many contributions to this team and allowed us to accomplish what we did. So thank you to the committee, and again, congratulations to all the new inductees. Town of Fairhaven, thank you guys. You guys supported us along the way. There was just so much support in town, and we're really appreciative of it. And I'm just really proud of this team and to be the head coach here. I'm going to have Jay Stewart, our senior captain, just say a couple words here as well. But thank you and have a good evening.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate the inductees that are getting inducted tonight. Wow. Hold on. Yeah, a few words. Without the support from the town of Fairhaven, none of us would really be standing up here. It took a lot for us this year, and we really came together as a group. And without any of the support, we wouldn't be able to make it through that stretch. We played a lot of road games late, and all the crowds we had coming up to all those games, you know, it really pushed us to strive to be better. And without this coaching staff we have, this program wouldn't be where it is today. And they turned it around for this town, and proud to be a Blue Devil.
Congratulations. Now I'll call on John to present the 2024 Hall of Fame scholarship winners. John?
Thank you. The Hall of Fame committee has selected 4 student athletes here at Fairhaven High School for the Hall of Fame scholarships. Each of these athletes have shown an achievement in their community and the school, as well as in their sports as leaders. Their character has shined through in the passion for the sports that they have played. The following 4 individuals, I'm going to call them up, as well as where they will be attending. First, we have Elizabeth Acuna, who will be attending Harvard University. Next, we have Madison Moore, who will be attending Bridgewater State University. We have Colby Correa attending Endicott College. And Michael Bardo will be attending Penn State University. These 4 athletes have shown tremendous dedication as well as leadership as seniors in 4 years in their programs. And let's give them a big round of applause.
At this point, I'd like to bring Donnie back up, who will present the memorable seasons 1990 and 1991 boys soccer teams, which is near and dear to my heart as a member of that team myself, so I will turn it over to Donnie.
This year's Hall of Fame committee would like to take the opportunity to remember 2 outstanding seasons in the history of the boys soccer program at Fairhaven High School. The 1990 and the 1991 boys soccer teams had many of the same players, and both teams helped to push Blue Devil soccer into a prominent position on the South Coast. Under FHS Hall of Fame head coach Sam Galvin, our boys soccer program was launched in 1986, and in their first season compiled a record of 8-2-2 and a berth in the postseason tournament. But until 1990, no Blue Devil soccer team had actually won a postseason tournament game. In that 1990 season, the Blue Devils won 16 regular season games and were South Coast champions. They found themselves seated 3rd in the D3 South Division and played one of the longest tournament games ever at home against Holbrook. Unbelievably, the match took 4 20-minute periods, 4 5-minute sudden death periods, and a shootout over 2 days to complete. Since play has resumed on Sunday after darkness on Saturday forced the officials to suspend play, on Saturday, Fernando da Silva and Paulo Baptiste had each scored goals, and the game was tied 2-2 when play resumed on day 2. Baptiste took a pass from Jeff da Silva and headed it into the Holbrook goal to give Fairhaven its first postseason soccer victory in history. The Blue Devils lost to Medway 3-2 in the semifinal, but the Fairhaven squad finished the season 17-3 and had made history for the program. The graduating seniors had compiled a record of 48, 12, and 6 over their 4 years of soccer. The 1991 team finished with a record of 16-3-1, shared the conference championship, and battled their way to a semifinal round of Division III before losing to eventual champion Norwell. The seniors on that team finished their high school careers with a record of 54-13-2. Unfortunately, Sam Galvin had a prior commitment and couldn't be here tonight, but we have 11 members of those teams with us to remember those 2 great seasons. Please come up to the podium. Brian Knutson and Chris Carvinen will speak for the team. Come on up. That's it. The whole team. The rest of the team, let's go. You're all up here. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, sir. Squeeze in so we get a picture. What do you want? Where is it?
Well, thank you for the committee for this honor. 1990-91 was a good year. Our football team also won the Super Bowl that year, so it was a good year to be a Blue Devil. I don't have a lot of detailed memories of those years, but seeing these guys have brought back a couple that have come to mind. I don't want to touch too much on the 2-day game, especially since Chris and I had a chance to end it on day 1, but we both missed our penalty shots. So you can read that in the program, and the rest is history. But the 91 season had a game that it's hard to forget. We had a rival, Little Rochester, who we never lost to until this one particular game. Things got a little heated, and the game had to be stopped. But luckily, a few of the local police from Mattapoisett and Fairhaven came by and helped us iron out our differences. Gave us some nice advice to maybe stay out of Mattapoisett for a day or two. We continued on. We won the conference and went quite a bit further than Old Rochester did. And it'd be hard not to mention Roy De Silva from 1986, who was instrumental in spearheading the soccer program at Fairhaven. There really was no soccer before Roy, and he led the groundwork for us. And I think Roy's in the Hall of Fame as well. But thanks to Roy, and thanks to the committee.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you everybody, and just shout out to the football team. Congratulations on a great season. Good to have you guys here. Mr. Foster, Mark Sylvia, they asked me to, think about some memories from the season of 1990-91, and honestly, it's been 30 plus years. I can't remember if we beat Case 2-0, 3-0, but what I remember is like seeing all these faces and just the funny stories that we've accumulated over the years. To me, it's about the journey, not the destination, right? And it was a journey with you guys, and you're brothers for life. And I want to say a special shout out. You see Liv here? I'm a father of 2 daughters myself. We had a female on the boys soccer team, and she wasn't the only one. So as a dad of daughters, I commend the crap out of you, Liv, because you hit harder than most of us. So congrats. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
I also just want to say is, being on this team in the 80s into the 90s, I wasn't the only female. There were a couple of others, but incidences would happen. I'd get teased. People would talk things. Guys would just not like that I was out on the field. And I want to say all these guys just defended me to the ground and were fabulous. So I just want to say that. Thank you. They made me feel like I belonged and were, yeah.
I also have to mention that the backbone of our team, our Michael Jordan was Paul Batista. He's the one that bailed Chris and I out of missing those penalty kicks, and he scored the goal that next day and gave Holbrook that long bus ride home. So 123 goals in 4 years for Paul Batista. He was the man.
All right, congratulations. Okay, Donnie, I'll call Donnie back up. Donnie will be presenting the Dave Medeiros Award. Donnie?
So the Dave Medeiros Award is given in honor of Dave Medeiros, who was the athletic director at the time this Hall of Fame started. He was the driving force of the Hall of Fame. And every year we give it to an educator at Fairhaven, in the Fairhaven School District. And this year's recipient was Angie Allaire. She's a Fairhaven High School special education teacher. Angie Allaire is the recipient for the Dave Medeiros Award this year. Angie is a dedicated special education teacher who teaches all major subjects to her students, and her positivity and energy is unmatched. She is always supportive of her students and their needs, and is their biggest advocate within the high school. One of Angie's passions that she has promoted within the high school are the unified basketball and the unified track teams. Angie has organized fun charity events with games against the police and fire departments that have been big hits with the students as well as the school community. Angie has dedicated numerous hours as a volunteer after school to organize these teams as well as raise funds for their uniforms. She is currently working to get the unified teams organized under the athletic department. With Angie, it's all about her special kids and making them feel better about themselves and be accepted within the school community. Angie's Unified Club has raised over $10,000 for the Special Olympics through a polar plunge last winter. Angie couldn't be here tonight, but she was thrilled to be recognized with this Dave Medeiros Award at the Junior Day exercises on May 31st at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Donnie. It's now my pleasure to announce the recipients of the Mr. Dell Dedicated Athlete Award. For those of you who don't know who Mr. Dell was, he was a sports enthusiast, an outstanding basketball player at Fairhaven High School, and in the years following his time in high school, he played basketball and softball in New Bedford. Mr. Dell is best remembered for his love of Fairhaven, his 20-plus years of coaching the youth in our town, his local sports reporting, and his dedication to the Hall of Fame. We lost Mr. Dell on March 30th, 2009, and in his memory, the Fairhaven High School Hall of Fame Committee established this award. This year's recipients are Sydney Maruzzi and Nate Desloria. Thank you both very much. Okay, and now the moment you've all been waiting for, the induction of this year's Hall of Famers. Our first recipient is Raymond Faria from the class of 1956. And I'll read a few words about Raymond. As I mentioned, sadly he passed. But the committee felt strongly that he should be inducted. Ray played a supporting role as a lineman for the football team, but it was on the baseball diamond that he really shined. And for the last 3 seasons of his high school career, he was one of the best pitchers in the mid-1950s of the old Bristol County League. During his sophomore season in 1954, Ray posted a record of 11-2. FHS posted a record of 11-2, largely behind Ray's powerful right arm. In his junior season, Ray was once again the ace of the Fairhaven squad and led the team to a 12-4 record in the tough Bristol County League, which consisted of New Bedford, Vogt, Durfee, Attleboro, Taunton, and Coyle High Schools. One of his highlights was a 9-inning, 4-hit performance where Fairhaven beat New Bedford Vogt 2-1 at Cushman Park. Ray finished that season with a record of 9-2 and landed a spot on the All-Bristol County team with the most wins of any Greater New Bedford pitcher. Farrier wrapped up his brilliant pitching career with a senior season in 1956, where he won 5 games, helping his team to an 8-3 record and another spot on the All-Bristol County League team. His last game for FHS was one of his best, even though he wasn't on the winning end. In a game against eventual league champion New Bedford Vogue, Ray scattered 5 hits and struck out 10 in a game that was scoreless for 8 innings, until Vogue managed to push across a run in the 9th for a 1-0 victory. Ray Farrier's pitching performances on the diamond definitely rank him at the top of the list of Fairhaven's best baseball hurlers. Please join me in welcoming Ray Farrier into the Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is Lifetime Achiever Paula Cordero O'Brien from the class of 1972. Paula Cordero O'Brien is a former teacher, principal, and school head in bilingual education in both Venezuela and Spain. And from 1998 to 2015, she served as the Dean of the School of Leadership and Education Sciences at the University of San Diego. Paula was also the Darmer Distinguished Professor of Global Leadership and Education before taking a leave of absence to work with educational programs in Africa and Central as well as South America. After graduating from Fairhaven High School, Paula earned her bachelor's degree from Bridgewater State College, her master's degree from Rhode Island College, and her doctorate from the University of Houston. At this time, I would like to call upon Louise Tapper from the class of 1972 and Debbie Almeida from the class of 1972 to further introduce her and induct her into the Hall of Fame.
Good evening. I'm Deb Almeida, and this is Louise Tapper. We nominated Paula together because of her career accomplishments of global education. Paula sent her acceptance speech to us to read. I'll start with her early career, and Louise will follow. Paula Cordero grew up in North Fairhaven and graduated from Fairhaven High School in 1972. We were all members of the FHS Future Teachers Club. She attended Bridgewater State College with Louise Connor Tapper and Deborah Hanson Almeida. After graduating in 1976, she secured a full-time job teaching English to newly arrived immigrants in New Bedford. Concurrently, she began part-time studies at Rhode Island College, working toward a master's degree in teaching English to speakers of other languages. She graduated in 1979 and then moved to Venezuela to teach English as a foreign language at an international school. After a few years, she moved to Las Palmas in the Canary Islands, Spain, where she became the director of the school at the age of 28. Paula is not with us today because she and her husband, David O'Brien, are celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary in the Canary Islands in Spain. So I follow her on Facebook, and she just entered this on Wednesday on her Spain vacation. We stopped by to see the American School in Gran Canaria, Spain. It hasn't changed a lot. Some color has been added to the NASA moon buildings, also air conditioning. The soccer, football, and other fields are much improved. I was there as the accidental director in the 1980s. A fabulous learning experience for a young educator and lots of fun with super students from all over the world and international staff and wonderful families. We were a bilingual school offering the Spanish high school diploma. And Louise will continue telling more of her life.
Okay. We're so proud of Paula. In 1986, Paula entered a doctoral program in leadership at the University of Houston in Texas, and upon graduation in 1990, she became a professor at UConn, where she worked for 8 years. In 1998, she became the Dean of the School of Leadership and Education Sciences at the University of San Diego. She stayed in that position for 17 years, and in 2015, a donor to her school and a person she considers a mentor, Mr. Rod Daymeyer, bought Paula's contract from the university for 5 years, and she went on leave. During that time, Paula became the vice president for a large international non-governmental organization that provides microloans to what are called low-fee private schools. She worked in 13 nations in sub-Saharan Africa and South America, but was primarily based in Ghana and Rwanda. We have a little footnote for you. In 1922, Paula arrived at our 50th class reunion bearing gifts for Deb and I. Deb's my Vanna, here you go. We each received this basket, which represents friendship, leadership, and strong women. It was made in Rwanda and carries a tag that reads, "Yours are not the first hands to hold this piece." Not long ago, it spent hours and hours in the skilled hands of an artisan in Rwanda who crafted it with care using local materials. Mixed with a love for their craft was a determination to raise their family out of poverty and create a better future. With their fair wage income, the artisans are a force of beauty and strength. This is a beautiful representation of Paula's involvement, leadership, and making the world a better place. Paula returned to the University of San Diego, where she now works as a professor teaching courses on social innovation. Over the years, she has served on numerous nonprofit boards in the US and abroad, and recently completed a 6-year term at our own New Bedford Whaling Museum. Paula is currently writing her 4th book, a textbook on social entrepreneurship. Paula thanks the FHS Alumni Committee, the Hall of Fame Committee, the Nomination Committee, her classmates, class of '72, and former FHS teachers for this honor and the recognition of her lifetime devoted to education and leadership. She thanks you, we thank you.
Thank you, Louise and Debbie, and again, congratulations to Paula. Next, I'll call upon Bob Foster for the next introduction, Janice Braley Maynard. Bob?
Thank you, Mark. It's my privilege tonight to be able to introduce Janice Braley Maynard, in the class of 1945. She is our legacy era inductee this year. Unfortunately, she passed away 5 years ago, but her daughter, Liz Maynard Isherwood Moore, is here accepting the award for her. Janice Braley was recognized for her 4 years of playing for the field hockey and the girls' intramural basketball team during her years at FHS. But it was on the golf course that she captured the headlines of the day. As a 12-year-old 8th grader, Janice managed to work her way onto the all-boys golf team. Her older brother, Gift Braley, was on the golf team, and Janice had learned to play golf as a youngster, playing with her family at the reservation golf course in Mattapoisett. And according to Gift, his younger sister had a natural swing and could outdrive and outscore him most of the time. In May of 1941, Coach Jim Parkinson gave Janice her shot in a match against top-ranked New Bedford High School's #1 player at the New Bedford Country Club. She didn't win that day, but she played well enough that the Standard Times headline the next day read, quote, "Miss Braley, golf star, Blue uses 12-year-old girl against New Bedford High," unquote. In a sport dominated by boys, Janice proved to be on par with any high school boy on the links. Janice had a lifelong love of golf, and she won a women's club championship at the Reservation Golf Club in the early 1960s. But Janice was much more than an athlete. She was a member of the school band, an honor roll student, and a valedictorian of the class of 1945. Janice went on to earn her bachelor's degree at Connecticut College and worked in special education in the Fall River school system. Janice and her husband Norman raised 3 daughters in Fairhaven. She passed away in 2019 at the age of 91. Please welcome her daughter Liz Isherwood Moore as she accepts this honor on behalf of her mother.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My speech just went out the window because Bob said it all. But he's right about that my mother was more than an athlete. But I was very surprised when I sat at my seat at the head table to see this letter, which I don't know if she ever got a letter or not, because I don't know if they did that back then. But it has 3 sports on it. It has golf, field hockey, and basketball. She truly was a woman ahead of her time. And I want to thank my friends and family that are here at this table right in front of me tonight. My sister Kathy, her husband Arstine, my niece Abby, and other friends and family who are here to support her tonight. Bob already said that she was class valedictorian and everything else, but when she went to college, it wasn't really a popular thing to do for women of her age. She obviously had the academic background to do it, and she had told me on many occasions that my grandfather let her go to college because he wanted her to find a husband. Well, she did, but that's not why she went to college. I'm really proud to stand here and accept this award for her tonight. My sister Abby, my sister Kathy and I, my niece Abby, and my daughter Allison, who lives in New Hampshire and isn't here tonight, we're all graduates at Fairhaven High School and very proud to be here. I'd like to think my mom was ahead of her time for women in general, and she always encouraged us to follow our own path, but because of what she did in sports, I think she also instilled a sense of fairness and sportsmanship in us, and I thank her for that. But you mentioned the tournament that she won at Reservation Golf Course. I remember, I don't know what year it was, but maybe 1960, 61, so I was still a kid. And she went to Bermuda with a group of people from the JCs, which was the Junior Chamber of Commerce, which doesn't exist anymore, and she played in a golf tournament. She won a trophy, and when she came home, we had to knock down a wall in the living room. We had built-in couches and everything, and there was an open shelf, and that trophy stayed on that shelf for about 20 years. So I think she was pretty proud of her golf experience and record. But I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, and it's so nice to see friends and family and people that I went to school with here in the room tonight. I wish my mom were here to hear this and see this, but thank you all for this recognition.
Thank you so much, Liz. Our next inductee is James W. Martin Jr. from the class of 1982. Jim was a 3-sport standout in football, winter track, and spring track, and an All-American star in 2 of them. Running out of the backfield for Coach Jack Risgan's squad, Jim scored 3 touchdowns that season, helping the Blue Devils to their first winning season of the decade. Jim's impressive senior year carried over into the winter track season, where he was a key member of what was called the Fairhaven Airborne, high jumping group which fell just 1 meet short of shutting out every opponent. That winter, FHS won its 2nd consecutive SMC divisional title over 2nd place Durfee by a score of 114-81. The high jumpers failed to sweep their event for the first time all season, but Jim extended his undefeated record in the 50-yard hurdles with a time of 6.9 seconds. He finished the winter season as the FHS record holder in both the high jump and the 50-yard hurdles. Jim finished his senior year with an outstanding spring track season where he was one of 3 players who broke or tied school records. Jim was the team's best pole vaulter, soaring 12 feet 4 inches to tie Al Whitworth's record jump at the Brown Invitational meet way back in 1930. After graduating in 1982, Jim went on to Springfield College where he continued to play football. Please welcome Jim Martin into the Hall of Fame.
you very much. I'm not much of a speaker, so when I'm nervous, I'll just say it. I stand here before you extremely humble, honored, and grateful to be a part of this ceremony. It is my belief that so many other teammates should be up here by my side because they practiced just as hard as I did, showed up at every practice, gave 110%. Why I was selected amongst so many other talented players like Derek Andrews, Mark Montero, Roger Caron, Casil Fonseca, Charlie Medeiros, David Santos, and many others, just to name a few, is beyond my belief. I'd like to thank God, my mom and dad, the Fairhaven High School Hall of Fame Committee, Mr. Foster, and along with other members for making this event possible. I know that my accomplishments or achievements would never have been possible without my teammates, friends, and lifelong Devils. I was raised in a loving family where both mom and dad worked extremely hard each and every day to provide for the family. Dad worked 12 to 18 hours a day and was my first teacher. He showed me the importance of getting up every morning, and no matter what, hard working, and that making sacrifices leads to development of responsibility, financial success, and stability. He showed me the balance of work and creating family time, going camping, fishing, boating, vacation, road trips. Mom worked full-time along with the things moms do. Clean house, cooking dinner, prepping dinner, doing laundry. But every night she made sure I was dressed warmly for those winter practices at night. Again, I would like to thank my dad who instilled in me the attributes of perseverance, dedication, a no-quit state of mind, and having a belief in myself. In closing, I would like to acknowledge all the selfless acts of the coaches by giving back to the community, and the presentation of this thanks is about the collective and not me as an individual.
Thank you so much, James, and congratulations. I'll now call upon Bob for our next inductee, Dustin Vitello. Bob?
Dustin Vitello was talented enough to play several sports, but it was basketball that became his focus. As a ninth grader, Dustin played sparingly for the varsity, scoring just 38 points in the 7 games in which he played. But he played his way into a leadership role during his sophomore season by leading the team in scoring with a 14 points per game average, and into the postseason tournament with an 11-11 record. At the start of his junior season, Dustin notched his name in FHS basketball history on December 19, 1998, by scoring the first points in the school's new Bart Leach Gymnasium, and scored a season-high 27 points. Over the course of that 22-game season, Dustin scored in double figures 19 times, including 10 games where he scored 20 or more to lead his team in scoring on the way to a 16-6 record and a spot in the postseason tournament. The 1999-2000 team was dominated by seniors, with Dustin clearly being the go-to guy on offense. Through the first 16 games of the season, Dustin had led the team to a 13-3 record and was averaging 15 points a game. Then on February 1st, 2000, in a home victory against Voc Tech, Dustin became the 9th Fairhaven High School player to score 1,000 points in a career. The Blue Devils finished the season as South Coast Conference champs with an 18-4 record and a 3rd consecutive spot in the state tournament. His teams didn't win a tournament game during his career, but that didn't diminish the impact of Dustin's individual performances. Dustin earned a degree in criminal justice and political science at Northeastern University, and then began a career in campus policing. He is currently working as a lieutenant with the Brandeis University Police Department. He lives in Rehoboth with his wife, Erin, and their 2 children, Courtney and Ethan. Please welcome Dustin Vitello into the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for this prestigious nomination. I was reminded when I came in here that I had to have a speech prepared. Thank you, Ray. I have no speech prepared, so we're just gonna wing this. First of all, I'm sorry I'm late. I see a lot of people in here that I would have liked to have an opportunity to catch up with. I was coaching softball up in Methuen. I coach a 14U travel softball team. We were doing great. We won a bunch of games yesterday until we lost. But you know, coaching is a passion. A lot of what I've kind of picked up in my past, I've continued to do and try to give back to my community. A lot of what you said, Bob, looking back on it, it's just kind of spotty. But when I was reading that plaque, one thing kind of stuck out to me. I kind of had a chuckle. It says that I was 6'1". Was 6'1". Either that's bad information, Coach, or I'm shrinking. I don't know which one it is. Bad information. No, but honestly, lots of great memories. A lot of people I wish that I had up here with me. I had some great teammates, older than me, younger than me, and those players are a part of the reason why I was able to do some of the things that I was able to do. You know, I'd like to thank Coach Baldwin for taking a vested interest in me as a basketball player early on. I think you saw something in me that I probably quite didn't see in myself, but somehow, some way, you helped me realize that there was a lot of potential there. You made me work hard and achieve something that I didn't know that it was possible, so thank you for that. There are some people in my life that are no longer with me that I'd also like to recognize. My grandfather, Raymond Florent, he was a positive influence on my life growing up as a kid. Kept me out of trouble, helped me make good decisions, taught me right from wrong. He's kind of like a second father for me. One of my uncles, Kevin Florent, was a great athlete growing up himself. Spent a lot of time playing basketball with me, baseball, football, kind of really working on my athletic skills. Definitely an important figure in my life. And my father, who passed some time ago, Chris Patello. He pushed me harder than anyone in my life had ever pushed me. Definitely made me realize that in order for you to be great at something that you do, whatever it is, whatever craft you decide that you want to do, you got to work at it. You can't just expect that anything's going to be given to you. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the energy, you have to put in the effort, and you have to have heart. So I take some of these lessons that I've learned from some of these positive people in my life, some of the teammates that I've played with, and I try to use those things in my life today and give back to the community that I now live in, where I coach softball, I coach baseball, and probably not a shock to some people in here, but I actually run the travel and rec basketball program in Rehoboth. So I just try to give back and keep doing what I'm doing. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all coming out to see all of us tonight and support all of us. Thank you.
That's a good argument right there for not making a prepared speech. Right? That was a great job, Dustin. And in defense of Coach Baldwin, basketball coaches always exaggerate the height of their players.
It's the players.
Right.
We lie about how tall we are.
Right, always. Except in Kara's case, they didn't have to. Right. Okay, our next inductee is Christina Patel from the class of 2011. She was one of the most dominant girls tennis players in Fairhaven High School tennis history, having compiled a career one-loss record of 71 wins against just 9 losses in 4 varsity seasons. She played the number 2 singles position as a 9th grader, where she was undefeated in 18 matches. And then as the number 1 singles player in her last 3 seasons, she went 18-3, 17-4, and 18-2, respectively. Not bad. Christina was an outstanding team leader and a role model for the younger players, and she served as team captain during her junior and senior seasons. She was an SEC All-Star all 4 years and was selected for the Standard Time Super Team after her sophomore, junior, and senior seasons. She also had the honor of being selected for that newspaper's All-Decade Team for 2010 to 2019. But she wasn't just a tennis player. In the fall seasons, Christina played soccer, where she was a 4-year starter on defense, playing the sweeper position. She was named to the SEC All-Conference team as a junior and senior and made the Standard Times All-Scholastic team, where she was described as, quote, a defensive anchor who never got beat in a one-on-one situation, unquote. Christina was active in many other school activities as well. She participated in winter track all 4 years. She was elected class treasurer all 4 years, while also being involved with the International Club as well as a peer mediation group. She graduated 22nd in her class and went on to study accounting at UMass Amherst, where she graduated in 2015 with a 3.8 GPA. She's currently working as an accounting manager for the Siegfried Group, LLP. Christina is now an avid pickleball player, and she recently became engaged to her fiance, Nate Rabella. So this has been a good year for Christina so far. Right? Please join me in welcoming Christina Patel into the Hall of Fame.
Wow, this is an incredible honor to be standing here today. I never imagined that my high school days of running around chasing soccer balls or smashing tennis balls on the court would lead me to this moment. This is truly an honor. To the selection committee, thank you for this recognition. I wasn't expecting this, and I was half expecting to get a call from Bob Foster saying, just kidding. But here we are, and it means so much to me, so thank you. I want to extend a big thank you to my parents. Mom and Dad, I think you guys deserve this honor just as much as I do. My parents came to every match, every game, and every event. They were my biggest fans, my loudest cheerleaders, my most reliable chauffeurs. I shouldn't even use the word were, as they still continue to do all this to this day. Without my parents' love, encouragement, and dedication, I know I wouldn't be here today. I'm so lucky to have them, and thank you, Mom and Dad. There's no way I'm here tonight without my teammates and coaches. They push me every day at every practice, motivated me to perform my best at every match or game. Finally, thank you to Fairhaven High School for providing a space where I could learn, grow, and succeed. I know if it wasn't for Fairhaven Athletics, I would not be where I am today. Thank you all so much.
Congratulations, Christina. Donnie will make the next introduction, which is Kara Charette. Donnie.
As I was starting to write a few things about Kara and looking at the booklet of all her accomplishments, I think it's so much more than those accomplishments. She accomplished so much more, and that's what I wanted to talk about. But I'll take a minute just to talk about those things. In volleyball, she was the leader of back-to-back South Final champions, bringing the volleyball team her senior year to the first trip to the state championship game. She's the all-time leader in kills with 1,175, Standard Times Player of the Year, and a 2-year Boston Globe All-Scholastic. In her worst sport, tennis, she played doubles and singles, and she made the super team as a senior. And then where I know her best is from basketball. She's a 4-year starter. She's the all-time leading scorer in Fairhaven High School history, boys and girls, with 1,688 points. And by the way, it should be a whole lot more. We used to yell at her on a daily basis to shoot the ball more and to go to and score. She was that good, okay? And it should be a lot higher than that. She pissed us off on a daily basis, sorry. She won the Dave Cowens Award. She's a Standard Times Player of the Year, a Phelps Scholarship Award winner from the Boston Globe. Those are her accomplishments, and there's a whole lot more in a bio which you can read about. But the things I remember about Karen, the thing that I'm going to take with me forever, and was going up against her senior year, going to play Archbishop Williams at UMass Boston for the South Finals. Now, Archbishop Williams, you have to understand, is a Catholic school. They recruit. They had been to the South Finals. I forgot the paper in there. They went to the South Finals from 2007 to 2019 every single year. Every single year from 2007 to 2019, they were one of the best teams in the state, and they went to the South Finals. They won 5 state championships over that time. They went to probably 3 more and lost. So we were going up and playing this team that was an absolute juggernaut of a program. There was no way Fairhaven High School could beat them. And that's the truth. We couldn't. We couldn't match up with them. One thing we had going for us was Kara. She was that good, and the rest of her team was. And the game went on, and we were winning and just holding on. We're up 9 points, 10 points, and they make a little run at the end of the game. And now it's probably about 3-4 points. And they're into the point, about 3 minutes left to go in the game, where they have to start fouling to try to take the lead. I don't think Coach Perry and I called the play in those last 3 minutes. Every single inbound play was called by Kara. It was to get her the ball because she wanted the ball. They would foul her on their side of the floor, and she was the first one down to the other side of the floor saying, "Give me the ball, let me shoot these free throws because the game is over." That was what I watched, and that's what I remember. It was that amazing to watch that game. That's what she did at the end of the game. She called every single play. She wanted the ball in her hands, and she finished the game, just like we'd want anyone to do. Kara, congratulations.
I feel like Donnie should have just done my speech for me. He did great. No. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to be standing up here today, to be chosen for this honor, when just being able to play for this town for 4 years was so incredibly special to me. I feel so lucky to have grown up with an enormous sense of pride in this community. My parents were both graduates from Fairhaven High School. My grandparents all lived in town, and I had the same friends from preschool through graduation. I want to first say thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee. Each year you put together this ceremony, and not only do you provide an incredible ceremony, but you also create an environment for old friends, teammates, coaches, and players to have a chance to reflect on some of the greatest moments of our lives. Also, a huge thank you for you guys for a reason to come home and spend an extended weekend with my family, because I love any reason to come home and see them as well. So speaking of my family, they deserve the biggest thank you of all. My parents threw my siblings and I into sports from basically the time we could walk. 2 parents and 3 kids, 365 days a year, we were all going in different directions. I'm not the greatest at math, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have much of a life of their own. Even so, I know that every single game that they could possibly be at, they were at. Mostly because I can still hear Dad in the stands saying, "Kara, go to the basket." My parents taught me the importance of personal accountability when the games were lost and the true hard work if you wanted your team to win. So thank you guys for laying the foundation for how to approach all things in life, even outside of sports. The cool thing about having an older sister is that she has to try out everything first. Starting from elementary school, I remember watching Kaylee and her group of friends go through travel teams and CYO and high school sports together. I watched them go through tournament run after tournament run with all the fan bases, face paint, and celebrations. I also watched the tough losses and at the end of it all, their senior year. I think this gave me a truly unique perspective. At some point, there is an end of it all, ready or not, so I needed to take advantage of every opportunity with my team and always think there might not be another chance. I'm sure Cameron can tell you about all the fun stories about being the little brother of 2 older sisters. At first, being able to play him one-on-one consistently and beat him was a ton of fun, but he didn't stop growing at 5'11". And they did exaggerate my age still on the roster. I think I was 6 feet, but I'm really only 5'11". Just so everybody knows. I'm cheating today with heels. But by the time I was in high school, I no longer had that undefeated record against Cameron. He consistently challenged me to play more in my off time and always wanted to be at the rec center for pickup games. Thankfully, only one of those times ended in the emergency room. And he was fine. I would also love to give a huge shout out to Grammy for her blue hair poof every time we had a tournament game. She was the biggest cheerleader, and I could always hear her screaming in the stands. The 2 most memorable games I had was the Archbishop Williams games that Donnie gave you a full rundown on, but also our volleyball game that brought us to the state championship. The state championship, I wouldn't mind forgetting myself. There was a 6'4" girl, and she just destroyed us, so it wasn't that much fun to remember. But looking back on those 2 games are the 2 greatest memories of my life up until that point. I received my letter to be here today in the middle of March Madness. I don't know if anybody paid attention to girls basketball before this year or if you do now, but It was so much fun watching those groups of girls go through the tournament runs and knowing the memories that they were creating and that they were drawing so much attention to women's basketball. And I've actually started to watch the WNBA this year, which is something I never did before. Once again, I'm beyond thankful for this honor. Fairhaven sports and Fairhaven in general hold such a special place in my heart. You should see how much stuff I have from Euro and Periwinkles in my apartment down in Florida. My coaches, teammates, and the community and my family have been such a tremendous part of my journey here, and I'll never be able to thank them enough. So thank you, everybody, and congrats to the football team on a great season.
Congratulations, Karen. Just so you know, I'm cheating with heels, too. All right, and our final inductee of the evening, I'm going to call upon Erin Baldwin Costa, who will introduce Ryan Baldwin as our final inductee. Erin?
Okay. Hello, everybody. First of all, congratulations to all of the inductees. When I think of Ryan Baldwin, my little brother, not so little, the words kind, humble, hardworking come to mind. Not to sound like our dad, but you really do live up to the adages that we grew up hearing. Hard work pays off, good things happen to good people. I also think he's one of the best baseball players and athletes to graduate from Fairhaven High School. Ryan earned 4 letters in baseball under Rudy Bulger in his senior season. He had a batting average of .512 with 8 doubles, a triple, 8 homers, 34 RBI, and he scored 24 runs. He also helped his team to an 18-6 record with a 5-1 overall mark on the mound and a microscopic .98 ERA, striking out 65 batters in 50 innings. Ryan was named All-Conference 3 times, 2-time Standard Times Player of the Year, and he earned Conference Player of the Year in his senior season. He was also named to both Boston Globe and Boston Herald All-State teams multiple times. Whew, hooray. He also graced the football field with his athletic presence, playing under Rudy Bulger again. He never played any organized football until his freshman year, but he quickly made a lasting mark on Fairhaven football. He was named the Defensive Player of the Year by the Standard Times his senior season, leading the Blue Devils with 117 tackles and playing a major role in the program's resurgence from a 0-10 season in 2010 to a 7-3 record just 2 years later. He averaged nearly 12 tackles per game and finished the season with more than 30 tackles for losses. He could have played every position and proved it in football, and proved it when he threw a game-winning touchdown on a fake punt to beat the powerhouse Dartmouth at home on Thanksgiving Day in 2012, a moment I will never forget. He continued playing collegiate baseball at Division II Barry University in Miami, earning Rookie of the Year honors for the Sunshine Conference, honorable mention, All-American, and All-South Region accolades. He played 4 years for the Buccaneers and ended his decorated baseball career tied as the leading home run hitter at Barry, along with many other categories in the all-time record book. A true hometown hero, Ryan works at a Cushnet company in town and resides in Dartmouth with his wife and beautiful babies, Maeve and James. It's my honor and privilege to introduce someone that I look up to, Ryan Baldwin.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's at your height.
Yeah.
He's my cousin.
Yeah.
First and foremost, thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me to become part of such a great group of people. I mean, looking around tonight, when we first got started, when Mark asked everyone to stand up, if you're an already existing member of the Hall of Fame, it's crazy how many people are here. And it's really just a testament to how much this town and this school means to everyone. And now to be considered part of that group is truly just such an honor. I was caught off guard also receiving the letter informed me I was being selected because I assumed I would be blacklisted and labeled as a traitor now that I live in Dartmouth and am married to an Old Rochester Bulldog. I can't even say the name. My wife today came downstairs and she had two dresses in her hand to decide what to wear. One was bright red and the other is the one that she decided to wear, the blue and white one. So she made the right choice. Next I want to thank my parents, Mom and Dad. Mom, thank you for being always my biggest supporter and for, from the age of 3, throwing wiffle balls to me in the backyard. If you ask her to this day, she's the one that taught me how to hit a baseball. And to Dad, thank you for instilling in me how to be humble, but still remain confident and to always let your highest highs and your lowest lows always remain an even keel. And to both of you, just thank you so much for sacrificing any free time you would have had with bouncing around from our four other siblings' games to allow me to travel the country and take the game as far as it would let me. Sorry, I'm a millennial. I got my notes all on my phone, so I had to unlock it real quick. And to my siblings, my older siblings, Amy, John, and Aaron, thank you for bringing me to practice and games, lugging me around. I know that's the last thing teenagers with a car want to be doing. But thank you for doing that. John, thank you for playing tackle football with me in the living room and beating me by double digits on the basketball court outside. You really taught me how to be a competitor. And to my younger brother, Sam, thank you for letting me return the favor to you. I was really able to hone my tackling skills and work on my fastball with you. But also, Sam, you're welcome. If anyone has been fortunate enough to meet Sam, you'll notice he's got a great smile. That's because when we were younger, I may have let too fast of a fastball go, and he's the only Baldwin kid that was fortunate enough to get braces because he ate the baseball. But he's got a great smile now. And just to all of you, as my career progressed, thank you so much to, I know you weren't always necessarily be able to physically attend my games, but you were always there to check in and send a text or a call afterwards, seeing how things went, and I can't tell you how much that meant to me. To my coaches, Coach Bulger, he was the ultimate player coach. He was a two-sport athlete, played college baseball and football. Kind of his career had been to the point where I wanted to take mine to, and there was really no one better to kind of mentor me and get me there. He helped immensely with the college recruiting process. And I mean, my freshman and sophomore year, I was this pudgy kid with athletic ability, and he really helped me refine those skills to have the junior and senior seasons that I had. And it all kind of came full circle where he was an assistant coach when I played with the New Bedford Bay Sox in Summer Baltus. So to have that kind of all come full circle really was really a cool experience. My one complaint with Coach Bulger will be, as Aaron mentioned, my junior season I had the fake punt touchdown pass. My senior year I was expecting to come in and get a shot at quarterback, and that unfortunately did not work out. So I stuck on the line. And to Coach Joe, I still get chills thinking of some of your pregame speeches before Wareham and Dartmouth. So, your passion for the game and your players just made it such a fun experience to play for you. I'll go back to games now and hear you yelling from the tower or just see the passion you have, and it brings a smile to my face. And just thank you. I think you can count probably on one hand the amount of people in the world that have the pride you do to be a Blue Devil. And it's just to see you, and as the athletic director now, it's just kind of see it come full circle, and it's awesome to see. And thank you for having the patience to, again, turn the pudgy athletic kid into a conference all-star and eventual defensive player of the year. In closing, I just once again want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for putting together this great night for everyone. I already mentioned how much of an honor it is to be part of this group again, and just one more night of being able to relive the glory days. So, thank you.
Congratulations, Ryan, and one big round of applause for all of our inductees and parental awardees this evening. one thing left. We have the 50-50 raffle, so I have $275 that will go to the winner. I need someone, maybe Bob, will you, we'll shake it up here and you pick a name, just don't pick your own. Yeah. Okay, so it's Worley. Is that Martha Worley? Congratulations. You win the 275. Come on down. And with that, thank you very much, everyone. Again, big round of applause to the Hall of Fame Committee. Big round of applause to the family and friends that have supported our inductees. And thank you to the Century House. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.